Don't we have the best choir in the world? Good morning. Join me if you're comfortable, closing your eyes and taking a real deep breath in and slowly letting it out. And take a normal breath. Amen. I need my glasses. My name is Brian Hopkins, and I am your worship associate for the week. My pronouns are he, his, and him, and I want to personally welcome you to UUCSS. Thank you for joining us today. From a diversity of cultures, sexualities, genders, and beliefs, we come together into one congregation. Here we are always growing, always learning, always loved. We are glad that you are here, and we welcome you in the fullness of who you are. If you are visiting for the first or second or fifth or 10th time. I talked to somebody last week that was here for the 6th or 7th time, and it was great to see them. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask Dorothy Hale, who is in the back. She is our wonderful morning captain who will answer any and all of your questions. If you want, perhaps join us downstairs having coffee after the service. Everyone is invited to join us downstairs after the service. Families with kids, please note that our nursery is open today for ages 6 months to 5 years across the courtyard, and that elementary, middle school, and high schoolers are invited to head to our fellowship house halfway through the service. And I think that point will be fairly obvious when you're welcome to skedaddle if you so choose. Today's service is a ritual story, a reflection honoring Imbolc and the season of our lives. Moving into February, we continue to be wintering as people, even as we begin to see signs of spring right around the corner. There are crocuses growing up. Y'all seen crocuses already in people's yards? Yeah, I have a few in mine. The question we wrestle with today is how we honor our winter selves, even as we sow seeds for future seasons. There will be a meditation and ritual in the place of our usual joys and sorrows today, but please know that you can always reach out to Reverend Caitlin, Reverend Kristen, or our lay ministry team. And now it's time to greet one another, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. I have always wanted to do this. It's like, well, that's a setup, isn't it? I won't be here next Sunday. What is next Sunday? Super Bowl. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. So instead of just waving to the camera, we're going to do a wave. All right, you all on Zoom top that, huh? All right, now that we have waved to you all on Zoom, please turn your cameras on. We want to see you if you're comfortable. Look at all that. Can you guys get, yeah! Cover your ears. Damn, I love this place. Sorry. Oh, my mom would be looking down at me right now going, no. Okay, enough with that. You all on Zoom, please greet one another in the chat. You all in person, now that you've gotten up, let's get up again if you're comfortable doing so. Say hi to somebody. When you hear the music, we're going to sit down, we're going to stand up and sing.
Welcome all. I am the Reverend Caitlin Cotter Quailberg, pronouns she, her, hers. You are a minister of spiritual growth, and I offer you this poem by Samuel Felderman as our invocation. So the skies rumbled and the snows came, and everywhere down through the centuries of this gray night came women gathering to pray and to sink their hands into the dark earth. They gathered seeds and prepared them for planting. They meditated in the icy darkness, and they celebrated the lambing of the first ewe to hasten spring. And when through the earth they felt the stirring, they sang songs encouraging the tiny seeds to grow. In the dark, wet soil, you can hear their work still. They are digging alongside us. Listen. The north wind carries their song across the snow this Imbolc night as the earth prepares for spring. Wise women gather in circles to await the promise of new life and to sing praises for the green earth. And so do we here now, this year and every year. Welcome, Imbolc. Come, let us worship together. I now invite Brian Hopkins, our worship associate, to light our chalice, symbol of our free faith. Please join me in saying the words on our screen. May this light warm our hearts with love and caring and guide us in the ways of truth. As we gather here for worship, we pledge ourselves to the endless search for meaning, the right of each to believe as mind, heart, and conscience dictate. We accept responsibilities this freedom commands and to implement our belief in the intellectual worth and dignity of every human being.
We're starting a rotation of different chalice songs, and you will notice as we go along there will be some new things that we introduce. And this is an old favorite. It's in the gray hymnal, number 362, if you want to see the tune. But I'll sing it. It's pretty easy. It goes like this. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Everyone? Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. And rise up, O flame, rise up, O flame, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. One more time. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy, vision, and joy.
I love that song too, because it also feels like we're calling Bridget into the room through song. Bridget is the goddess most associated with Imbolc, or Saint Bridget. In Ireland, they celebrated Saint Bridget this week, which feels like a win for feminism, right? Not just Saint Patrick, now Saint Bridget too. All right, so today is a Wonderbox Day, and I'm gonna need a lot of volunteers to help me with my Wonderbox story. Do I have any kids at heart willing to come forward and help me with Wonderbox today? I need lots of you. Come on forward. Bob says, come on forward. Back to Bob afterwards. All right. Oh, this box is pretty heavy. Are some of y'all strong? Can one of you carefully lift this heavy Wonderbox for me? Bring it forward. It's not that heavy. Good. I think what's inside today is particularly light. All right. Who's willing to open this box? All right, great. Thank you. Isabel, what do we see in here? What's that? What do you see? Seeds. Seeds. These are seed packets. So we're going to put the Wonderbox down for just a minute, because what we're going to do for Time for All Ages today is I'm going to ask y'all to help me act out a seed story. So in a minute, I'm going to ask y'all to hand these packets out to everybody. We're going to do the running around the room thing. But first, we're going to be seeds. Are y'all ready? Okay, so find your space up front. You're going to need some space for this. That's all right. There will be dirt in a bit, but first we're going to be seeds. We're going into metaphor first, and then we're going to get literal, all right? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? All right. And y'all can do this in your seats as well, or just in your mind. So first, I want you to imagine that you're a seed, a teeny, tiny, itty-bitty speck of a seed. Get as small as you can. How small can you get? Even in your chairs, try curling up, get really small. Just make your face small if that's all you want to do. And here you are all together. You were a thing and you got scattered through the room. This is excellent seed scattering y'all have done. And now you've been pressed down into the earth. Feel yourself get pressed down into deep, dark, comforting earth, rich and dark. There you are, little seeds, alone in the earth, but not alone, right? I want you to imagine past you goes an earthworm going num, 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 num through the dirt. A beetle, a pill bug. And then all are resting. There you are, resting in the dark. Everyone breathe for a minute in the dark. The precious, sacred darkness. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Little seeds in the dark, the sacred dark, breathing, resting, just being enough as you are, holy and sacred and enough, resting, waiting. It's okay to fall over in the dark a little bit. And now you begin to feel the world stirring a bit. You feel the earth grow warming, and slowly you shiver in the earth. You're feeling the days get longer. And now I invite you to send out one tiny root. Send out one tiny root tentatively, slowly. And now another tiny root down, tiny root. And now slowly send up one tiny sprout. Let it open into two little leaves. Feel the sun. Maybe you can send up another leaf if you want to send up your other person leaf there. Slowly. Oh, it's up to you to figure out how you are the seed. I believe in you. Perhaps you wish to sit upon your bottom and stretch up, or if you wish, maybe you want to start rising to your feet. Rising to your feet. Slowly. Stretch as big as you can get, even if you're just big in your heart. How big can you get? How high up? How far towards the sun can your leaves reach? Big. Take up your space. Take up space, everyone. Yes. Stretch. Big. Be big. Stretch. Take up space. Yes, we're feminism today. Taking up space, all of us. Reach. Beautiful. Look at y'all. Look around. Look how beautiful we are, this garden that we are today. Reaching, taking up space. Yes. All right. And now, if you wish, you can relax again. Except my seeds who are up here, will y'all help me now? We have seeds up here, and I need each of you to grab a handful and start handing them out. Get everybody, yes, make sure everybody gets a handful. We're sharing here. There's enough for everyone to take a handful. That's right. It's okay if you just got a couple. I think some of us got a few more than others. You got 0. Let's make sure everybody try to get 1 at least. There we go. You'll notice as you get your seeds that Linda has color-coded them. And when we do our ritual a little later, you'll see that there is a color-coded jug up here for you, and we'll be here to help you for that piece. But for right now, I want you, as you get your tiny seed packet, I invite you to focus on this question. If you don't have one, raise your hand. I'm hopeful that we have enough. We may have to share seed packets with our neighbors, but I'm hopeful we have enough. Lynn did an amazing job making us tons of little seed packets this week. And the question I invite you to rest in as you hold your seed packet in your hand is, what is resting in you? What is waiting for you, waiting to blossom, resting in this winter time, this Imbolc time, this early spring. Oh, do we have any more seeds left? Awesome. Could you give a couple to the choir over there? All right. Princess Power coming through with the seeds. Yes. All right. And choir, once you have your seeds, I believe you have an anthem for us. A beautiful song to sing. And kids, if you want to settle back in with your families, or use this as a moment to check your stuffy in for stuffy sleepover. Oh, we still have some extras. Does anybody else need a seed? We found some more. Oh, yeah, Brian needs one. I see, I need one. Anybody else raise your hand? Oh, we need one right here. Oh, Miyako didn't get one. There we go. Okay. And if we've got any extras, just put them on the table right there. Perfect. Thank you all. All right, settle back in with your families as the choir sings, please.
Join us on the rhythm for this. So it goes like this. Okay, I'm going to provide the downbeat, and then you sing after the downbeat. So the choir can start, and you can join us on the second time. Or the first if you hear. 2, 3, 4. Do, 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 do.
The seeds of spring are stirring beneath the melting snow. The song of Imbolc rising from below. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. The seeds of spring are stirring beneath the melting snow. The song of Imbolc rising from below. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. The seeds of spring are stirring beneath the melting snow. The song of Imbolc rising from below. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. Bridget, keeper of the flame, we gather in your name. Never lost or forgotten. The seeds of spring are stirring.
So I invite you again to hold that packet of seeds gently in your hands. And I invite you into the spirit of prayer or meditation to perhaps rest your feet on the floor. You may wish to close your eyes or focus them on your packet of seeds And I offer you this meditation adapted from the writings of Barbara Hamilton Hallway. In the spirit of Bridget, goddess of healing. Spirit of life and love, great presence who welcomes the secrets hidden within all hearts, be with us this morning. Each of us here knows what it is like to feel broken, to be wounded, tired, hurt, lost. Each of us here knows what it is to be in need of healing. When we look around our sanctuary, we see beautiful, worthy people who have struggled with illness, with caring for parents or children or partners, with all the ways life can knock us down. Some of those people are ourselves. We have known sorrow. We have known loss, betrayal, addiction, self-judgments. We have wounds, deep wells of pain, lonely caverns in our hearts and minds we are afraid to visit. Sometimes we think we can heal these caverns by filling them up. Just the right book, the right experience, the right encounter with just the right person will fill our aching soul, will make everything right. In the midst of everything in us that needs healing, help us today to simply be present, to simply be with the part of us that is lonely or wounded or scared. Help us to simply be here with our sadness or pain or fear. Help us to know that we are not alone. That we are held in a network of connection here, a human holy network of wholeness that holds us gently and helps us bear our struggles. Let us rest for a moment in this awareness of connection. Let us rest for a moment in silence with the sounds of the world all around us. If you have suffered a deep loss in the last year, I invite you to stand or raise your hand during this silence so the congregation can bear witness to your grief. Spirit of life and love, help us know how connected we are and be forgiving and forgiven. Help us be loving and allow ourselves to be loved. Help us employ our healing hearts to help bring healing to others. Blessed be. Amen.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know
Thank you, Green Sanctuary folks, and thank you, Grace and Michael. Folks online, I hope you were able to sink into your own meditation as we did our quiet ritual in this space. And at this time, I invite our children and youth to head over to the Fellowship House to talk about holy troublemaker and Indigenous activist Caitlin Curtis. Let us sing them on their way. And stuffies can stay here if they've been checked in for the sleepover. But kids and youth, I invite you to sing them.
Today's reading are excerpts from Catherine May's Wintering, the Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. Everybody winters at one time or another. Some winter over and over again. Wintering is a season in the cold. It's a fallow period in your life when you are cut off from the world. Perhaps it rests from an illness or a life event, such as bereavement, a birth of a child. Perhaps you're in a period of transition and have temporarily fallen between two worlds. Some winters creep upon us more slowly, accompanying the protracted death of a relationship, the gradual ratcheting up of carrying responsibility as our parents age, the drip, drip, drip of lost confidence. Some are appallingly sudden, like discovering one day that your skills are considered obsolete. The company you work for has suddenly gone bankrupt, or your partner is in love with someone else. However it arrives, wintering is usually involuntary, lonely, and deeply painful. Yet it's also inevitable. We like to imagine that it's possible for life to be one eternal summer, and that we have uniquely failed to achieve that for ourselves. But life's not like that. Now, I'm aware that I fly in the face of polite conversation in doing this. The times when we fall out of sync with life every day, life remains taboo. We're not raised to recognize wintering or to acknowledge its inevitability. Instead, we tend to see it as humiliation, something that should be hidden from view. We shock the world too greatly. We put on a public face and grieve privately. We pretend not to see our people's pain. We treat each wintering as an embarrassing anomaly that should be hidden or ignored. This means we've made a secret of an entirely ordinary process, and have thereby given those who endure it a pariah status, forcing them to drop out of everyday life in order to conceal their failure. Yet we do that at a great cost. Wintering brings about some of the most profound and insightful moments of our human experience, and wisdom resides in those who have wintered. Plants and animals don't fight the winter. They don't pretend it's not happening and attempt to carry on living the same lives that they've lived in the summer. They prepare, they adapt. They perform extraordinary acts of metamorphosis to get them through. Winter is a time of withdrawing from the world, maximizing scant resources, carrying out acts of brutal efficiency, and vanishing from sight. But that's where the transformation occurs. Winter is not death of the life cycle, but its crucible. In our relentless, busy, contemporary world, we are forever trying to defer the onset of winter. We don't ever dare to feel its full bite. We don't dare to show the way it ravages us. An occasional sharp wintering would actually do us good. We must stop believing these times in our lives are somehow silly, a failure of nerve, a lack of willpower. We must stop trying to ignore them or dispose of them. They are real. They are asking something of us. We must learn to invite the winter in. We may never choose to winter, but we can choose how. Once we stop wishing it were summer, winter can be a glorious season in which the world takes on a sparse beauty and where even the pavements sparkle. It's a time for reflection and recuperation, for slow replenishment, doing those deeply unfashionable things, slowing down, letting your spare time expand, getting enough sleep and resting is a radical act, but it is so essential. This is a crossroads. We all know a movement we need to shed a skin. If you shed a skin, you'll expose all those painful nerve endings that will leave you so raw and that you'll need to take care of yourself for a while. If you don't, then the skin will harden around you. It's one of the most important choices you'll ever make.
So I've been thinking a lot this week, like I do, about the opening line from Richard's Henry III. Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. So many different actors have done that in so many different ways. I like Ian McKellen's version particularly, but it's my favorite play. So, anyway, I've always loved how Shakespeare captures the sense that there are seasons and chapters to our lives, both as individuals and as groups. And I love that he gives this line to his deliciously villainous version of Richard III, right? Because it kind of captures that sense. We'd all like to be the son of York who turns our winter of discontent to glorious summer, right? We kind of get him with that. I like his jealousy of his brother in that. And because, winter can be a drag, right? And not in the RuPaul sense. Winter is tough, often desolate, or at least uncomfortable, lonely-making, right? But it can also, as Catherine May talks about in her book, it can be a gift. It can be a gift. I am grateful that we got some snow 2 weeks ago, a brief, glorious reminder to slow down lest you skid, right? To hold your kids close and drink hot chocolate and maybe pause with your tongue out and your face up and just take it in, right? I'm mad that so many of you had to keep working remotely and didn't get your snow day. Who didn't get your snow day? Right? That makes me really stinking mad. Because we need snow days. We need these chances to embrace winter, both in its literal and metaphorical terms. To quote that piece from Catherine Megan, we like to imagine that it's possible for life to be one eternal summer, and that we have uniquely failed to achieve that for ourselves. Right? This is the lie that late-stage capitalist consumer white supremacy gives us, right? She doesn't talk about it like that, but that's what she's kind of talking about. She's English. They don't. Anyway. We dream of an equatorial habitat forever close to the sun, she says, an endless, unvarying high season, but life's not like that, right? And trying to force ourselves, each other, our society, and our world into endless summer is how we pushed ourselves into climate crisis, right? This is what colonialism, white supremacy, I'm not going to totally blame the English because it's not just them, but this is how we got to this place, right? When all you prioritize is productivity, is getting the most labor possible out of people and growing exponentially forever. When you turn the very idea of a fallow season into something that is shamed, then you are going to become destructive. You're going to harm yourself and those around you. This is why I talk about late-stage consumer capitalism and white supremacy being inherently violent, right? This is inherently violent. And letting ourselves have winters, have times when we are going inward, resting, thinking deep winter thoughts, dreaming and resting and planning and resting and also taking naps. This is why this is vital. To quote Cole Arthur Riley, author of Black Liturgies, this book just came out. I got the bookstore's last copy. I'm so excited. Let rest deliver you back to yourself. Exhaustion won't save you in a world more interested in using your body than protecting it. Lie down. Breathe slow. We rest that we might dream. This is vital, holy work for all of us as gardeners and the garden. I don't know if any of you remember, we've got the poster boards from it still up downstairs near the bathroom. We started out this year, way back in August, talking about our congregation as a garden, about how our garden as Unitarian Universalists, as congregation, so many gardens, was recovering from a metaphorical flood that was the pandemic, right? And that this year in particular, we were allowing to be a fallow year while our building is under construction, while we continue to live through this pandemic time. Right? And if we think about our congregation as a garden, we also have a winter every year. We have this literal winter season when I'm always trying to program religious education bits that invite deep wintry thinking. And I love that we have a literal garden here at church as well. Again, just so much gratitude for Green Sanctuary and our gardeners. Who else is anyone gardening at home? Right? Anyone benefited from our Green Sanctuary's native plants thing? Anyone have any Green Sanctuary plants in your garden at home? I do. I love them. In my wee little bitty garden in front of my condo. And for those of you who garden, you know that gardening has like 4 seasons, right? There's a planting season, the weeding and watering season, the harvest season, and then the looking at seed catalogs and planning and dreaming season, right? And this season is just as important as the others. A good garden starts as a winter dream, comes into being as you curl up in your favorite chair, warm drink in a mug next to you, blanket on your laps with your seed catalog or your web page for a heritage seed nonprofit that grew from the Urban Farm Initiative of Philadelphia open in your hand. We who are not great at keeping our houseplants alive, who long for the frogs of Brookside Garden to return may indeed experience this season as a winter of discontent. And you know, that's okay too. It's okay to be grumpy, y'all. It's okay to be grumpy. It's okay if your seasonally affected disorder, your aching joints, your head cold keeps you from actively enjoying this cozy season. Some of us feel the bite of this literal winter season in a real, embodied way, are forced to slow down not just because that's what our spirits need, but because we literally move more slowly. This week, with Imbolc and Bridget's Day, the season is turning. Winter is half over, spring is beginning. We are with Bridget on the threshold, and the days are lengthening. If you look at the stories of Bridget, she's all about that threshold moment. She invites us to be in the liminal. Do you all know this word, liminal? I love this word. It's being on the threshold, being in the in-between, right? Here we are on that threshold. The days are lengthening, but also it's still winter. We can light candles, cup seeds in our hands, let rocks or some of the balls that we are juggling fall from our hands with this knowledge. Winter is shifting us again towards spring. We don't need to rush to push through. We can rest here in this winter in the healing that the season offers. She invites us to sit in winter's wisdom. And part of that winter's wisdom is trust, right? Trust that letting go of what has been can lead to new things. Trust that moving at the speed of covenant, of care, of love will cause better growth than moving at the speed of anxious urgency. Trust that the seeds we cultivate, that we gently put to rest in dark soil that we water and watch will find their way to the surface. Seeds need to rest, and so do we. As pagan leader Hope Horton puts it, Imbolc tries our patience and our faith, that this too shall pass, that the wheel is turning and that our spirit will be green again. And to those of us who would rather continue dozing in the belly of the frozen ground, Imbolc brings a challenge to wake up and be ready for change, which will come as surely as the earth moves around the sun. Moving forward from winter and awakening to life, new life, means moving forward with our winter dreams, even without assurance of outcomes. We hope that 2024 will bring us flowers because we are planting flowers. But here we are, in this Imbolc season, feeling that quiver within the seed, where the momentum starts to build, beginning to let down roots so we can weather spring storms, thinking about what we are willing to put our faith in. And by that I mean our effort, our treasure, what we will show up to do and be. Winter wisdom calls us to deep honesty, deep truths, deep commitments, right? This is why we do our season of giving starting in this season too, that this is a time for humility, curiosity, reverence, and generosity. Like seeds, we need to rest, to be in the darkness, to hydrate. Like seeds, we have potential within ourselves, each of us a spark of the sacred at our core. The season can be an invitation to quiet down and listen to that spark, as the Quakers do so ably, right? That still, small voice, to remember that we are enough and we can be more. More courageous, more curious, more awake to the world and to each other. There will be no Son of York turning our winter of discontent into glorious summer. But I trust that spring and summer will come, and that I can find it in myself to wait for them. In the words of Molly Rimmer, here we are in seed time, dream time, looking for the cracks of light that tell us to stretch and grow. We are invited to consider this possibility. What if there is nothing wrong? What if there is no too slow? What if we live a miracle every single day and we don't have to earn it? As the first shoots of tentative growth begin to lift and we sense the beginning sparks of possibility, of new ways of being, we may feel the itch to create a lengthy to-do list for the new year. Resist and sit, curled and waiting. Uncover what is enough. Not in the sense of playing too small, but the kind of enough that allows our hearts to expand and our shoulders to loosen, that allows creativity to blaze and joy to bloom, the kind of enough that opens space in our lives to hold ourselves and our seed dreams. Darkness and silence can hold both the sparks of our dreams and the embers of our hopes. We are our own seeds of promise.
Wow. How do you follow that up? That was incredible. By asking for money, of course. As worship associate Roseanne Douglas said a couple of weeks ago, not a single one of us has earned the right to be alive. And yet here we are. Not a single one of us has done anything to earn the abundant earth that continues to use sunlight and dirt to turn seeds into nourishment for our bodies. None of us must work to earn the beauty of the seasons or their reminder that change is life's only constant. And yet, here we are, right? Of all the particles in the universe, we happen to come into being here to share time, space, beauty, and a generous planet in this very moment. So, as we prepare for today's offering, I invite you to consider all of the abundance this earth, this universe has given you, and to make your gift from that account. There are lots of ways to make a gift to UUCSS, to make the grand vision of our faith and emerging visions of our congregation real. If you are here in person, you can place your offering in the plates as they are passed around in just a moment. The offering will now be greatly given and received.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Jo. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a recovering Catholic. No disrespect to current Catholics. Both my parents are very devout, and I truly respect them and their beliefs. But I have, we'll call it a complicated relationship with that faith tradition. For many years, I thought of exploring my new faith communities. It took a long series of major life events to get me to act. If I shared my whole story, I'd be up here all morning, and I will not do that to you all. Suffice it to say, having 2 babies and unexpectedly losing my sister before she could meet them in person was what it took to finally get me up off my ass to check out an actual service. UUCSS was the first place I tried, just over a year ago. One service, and I was hooked. I never went anywhere else. I love so many things about this congregation. I remember feeling immediately welcome, which was a crucial first step. But what really solidified my connection was the response I got to my hard questions, like, will my kids be safe? What if my partner doesn't buy into organized religion, like actively does not buy into organized religion? What does inclusion really look like here? Throughout this past year, I started to get more actively involved. I'm both proud and humbled to be on the Transgender Inclusion Task Force, as well as the facilitation team for our upcoming Our Whole Lives workshop for adults. In addition to giving my time, I'm pledging my financial support. That's why I'm up here, in case you guys were confused. Because the coursework and the trainings for these and our other programs cost money. So do the salaries of the unbelievably talented professionals that are called to our congregation. Even the coffee and the meals provided after services that allow us to linger and connect with each other on a deeper level, they all have to be purchased. So, real talk, we're currently a 1-income family, and that's an amazing luxury, but it also means we have to be very intentional about our spending. Who doesn't right now, right? Like, everyone's intentional. For me, this community and its mission is a priority that's well worth a line item on our increasingly tight budget. And I sincerely hope you'll join me in making it one of yours. Thank you.
Can't decide if I need the podium or not. I'll try this so I can. Okay. Good morning. My name is Katie Haig, and I am a member of the board. My pronouns are she and her. We gather in person and on Zoom for worship every Sunday morning here at UUCSS. But our church is not only the organization that puts together these services. We are a vibrant collective of volunteers and staff. We are part of the wider Silver Spring community, and we're a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association and part of the global UU denomination. Today, we have 5 announcements. First, please join us today at 4 p.m. in the sanctuary for a free jazz concert. The program will pay tribute to the centennial anniversary of the pianist Elmo Hope, whose works have been overlooked compared to his contemporaries like Bud Powell and Thelonious Monk. Alfred Yoon's performance at UUCSS will highlight Elmo Hope's compositions and help us re-examine his genius. If you're not familiar with Aldred Yoon, he's a pianist known for mixing jazz and hip-hop with K-pop and traditional Korean music. Yoon and his trio have played the same concert at the Strathmore just a few days ago, but here at UUCSS, the concert is free thanks to a generous grant from the Music Performance Trust Fund by the American Federation of Musicians. Again, today, February 4th, at UUCSS at 4 p.m. Number 2, honest, accurate information about sexuality changes lives. It dismantles stereotypes and assumptions, fosters healthy relationships, and improves decision-making. It also helps participants accept and affirm their own sexuality throughout their lives. Next month, UUCSS will offer Adult Our Whole Lives, OWL, for anyone aged 18 to 100. Workshops will be held on 3 Saturdays, March 2nd, 16th, and 23rd. Attendance is free, but advanced online registration is required. See the latest all-church email for the link, or email recoordinator@uucss.org. 3. We are thrilled to have the amazing Leah Morris back at UUCSS at the beginning of March as our musician in residence. On Saturday, March 2nd, she will offer a workshop at 1 o'clock, and a concert at 8 p.m. Sunday morning. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Saturday, she'll offer a workshop at 1 and a concert at 8 p.m. Full stop. Sunday morning, March 3rd, she will be our guest musician. Please mark your calendars and plan to join us for 1, 2, or all 3 events with Leah. 4th, an invitation for those new to UUCSS to join Reverend Kristen and Mary Beth Lerner for a Pathways to Membership is scheduled on Saturday, February 10th from 9:30 to noon. The gathering is an opportunity to share what's drawn us to UUCSS, learn about UUism and UUCSS and what it means to be a member and how to connect more deeply. If you haven't already, please let Mary Beth Lerner know if you would like to join the group. And 5th, today, right after the service, the Communications Committee will host a help desk session here in the sanctuary. Pop by to learn more about our new tech tools like the Wiki and Groups.io in the sanctuary for about 30 minutes or longer if you need us. Thank you.
I recently watched a documentary on Netflix about the making of the video We Are the World. And the last celebrity to leave the group was crying. That was Diana Ross, and someone pulled her aside, said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "I don't want this to be over." And right now, I don't want this to be over. But please join me in the extinguishing of our chalice. May this light warm our hearts with love and caring. Oh, sorry. Now I want this to be over. Whew. Carry the flame of peace and love until it meets again. You guys should have stopped me earlier. Come on.
I do that sometimes too, Brian, so it's okay. So will you rise in body or in spirit, sing the first song that we said we're going to reprise, Though Winter Winds Yet Blow and Freeze, to the tune of, help me with that title, to the tune of Thou Speak with Bravest Fire. It's number 34 tuned, as you heard it before. Will you rise in body and spirit and join me in singing? Need the words? Yeah.
Though winter winds yet blow and freeze, the sap is stirring in the trees. New lambs are bleating on the glen, and cubs lie warm within the den. The fire in the forge ablaze proclaims the Lady Bridget's praise. Deep in her well the waters flow, and life finds safe
So in closing, I offer you this prayer by Cole Arthur Riley. Rested God, we want more than a life lived exhausted, that you have woven healing rhythms of rest into our minds and bodies reminds us we are worthy of habitual restoration. Remind us that when we pause or rest, we are restoring not only our own bodies, but the very condition of a world held captive by greed and utility. We grow weary of societies who view us as more machine than human, more product than soul. The fear that we won't survive without overworking stalks our days. Liberate us from the depraved socioeconomic structures that require that the poor and vulnerable sacrifice their own rest at the altar of survival and opportunity. Remind us that the beauty and paradox of our humanness is that we were made to close our eyes that we might see. May it be so. Amen. Our worship concludes and our service begins.
Sing a song of blue sunny skies, sparkling waterfalls from mountains that rise to the skies above. A wondrous surprise, sing a summer song. Sing a song of colors so bright, smell the burning leaves, a sensuous delight. Feel the air turn brisk, see wild birds in flight, sing an autumn song. Sing a song of winter with its ice and snow. Darkness rules the spirit, and it seems